Brian emailed me yesterday and said, hey, you had asked about coming up on the 7th. Are you still available? I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And so, love coming up here. This is an hour and a half drive for me to get up here from northern Indiana. So, get up here, and it's just a great show. My name is Rich Troyer, and I'm a recovering pastor. Was a pastor for 9 years in the mission for 9 years, 4 months, and I guess I'm in remission now for 10 years, 5 months, and 7 days. And there's things that I miss about being a pastor. I mean, it was always fun to tell people that I'm sleeping with the pastor's wife, or my wife's sleeping with the pastor, and people would give you that look like, what are you talking about? But what I don't miss is the interactions sometimes with people. Because people get really weird when they find out you're a pastor. I mean, there are people who, it's like they get transported back into 1956 television, and it's like you're sitting on the couch with Ward and June Cleaver and Eddie Haskell is sitting there, and you're all like, jeepers, Rich, I don't know what we're gonna do. Gosh, that sounds like it would be nifty. But nobody talks like that anymore. What are we doing? Other people, they take it as an invitation to tell me anything and everything that's going on in their lives. Doesn't matter where we are, doesn't matter what's going on. Hey, Pastor Rich, I just wanted to tell you about the results of the biopsy on the cyst they removed from my wife's uterine wall. I think that might be why she had such heavy flow every month. Dude, can I just enjoy dinner with my wife? Let's talk about this later. And other people, they want to engage you in theological debate, which is always so much fun. I remember running into a high school basketball coach of mine years ago, and I sat down on the bench next to him, just like I had my entire high school basketball career. And he said, Rich, what are you doing now? I said, I'm a pastor at this local church. Yeah, you're right. Different church than what I grew up in. How are they different? I mean, they're really pretty much the same. The way they baptize is different. One dunks you under the water, the other one sprinkles water on your head. Which one's right? Fuck, I don't know. I found out a long time ago the phrase, fuck, I don't know, got me out of a lot of conversations I didn't want to have. And there were some weird conversations as a pastor. I mean, I remember one time a couple started coming to our church. It was an older couple. He was 85-year-old World War II vet. His live-in girlfriend was 80 years old. And senior pastor came up to me after services one day and says, hey, I'm going to go visit Mr. and Mrs. Brown later this week. He said, cool, but it's not Mr. and Mrs. Brown. They're just living together. They're not married. They're living in sin? Well, I mean, he's 85 and she's 80, so they're probably not living in sin very often. And, when they do, it's probably not for more than 4 hours at a time, or he's got to go seek medical attention. A couple weeks ago, some friends of ours went with my wife and I up to Chicago, and we're walking down Michigan Avenue, and we see this sign in the window of a restaurant for a smacking cheeseburger. We're like, okay, what is this? And so we're checking it out. It's macaroni and cheese on top of a smash burger. And we all had this sudden visceral reaction to it. And we couldn't figure out why. I mean, like, okay, we all agreed we like macaroni and cheese. We all agreed we like smash burgers. You put them together on a plate, that's a hell of a meal. But a visceral reaction when they're combined. And the only thing I could think after studying this for a while is, it's like my parents, right? My mom was really cool. My dad, I love my dad. Together, they were an awesome couple, but I get that same visceral reaction when I think of one on top of the other. I saw another ad recently that said, last 5 times longer in bed. And thought, I'm gonna check this out. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? It has nothing to do with curing insomnia. It's really weird. I am a dad. I've got 3 adult children. And I love being a dad. I mean, outside of the act of making my children, being a parent is the most fun I've ever had in my life. And I mean, you get to shape a life, and how very cool is that? I mean, like, a couple weeks ago, my son calls me up and says, "Hey, Dad, I don't know if this is an old wives' tale or if this is like true, but I read that if you drink pineapple juice, it makes your semen taste sweeter." I said, "Well, it's not an old wives' tale because old wives don't remember what semen tastes like." And to tell you the truth, I've never noticed a difference in the flavor. He had that same reaction. And you do things as a parent you never thought you'd do. I mean, I never thought I would reach my hands out to catch barf. You know? But I've done it as a dad, just last night at the bar. And I never thought I would smell my kids to see if they crapped their pants. But man, it got crazy last night. So the pandemic is, I guess it's over. We're in the endemic stages now. What is that? I mean, think about it. 3 years ago, this didn't happen. You know, we were all in lockdown looking at each other like, where you been? Who you been breathing with? Don't breathe on me. None of, I mean, like that. And then we get the masks and all that stuff. Craziness, right? And now we're getting back to normal. And life is going to be good again, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm looking forward to the most in a post-pandemic world? Not being judged about the way I wash my hands when I use a public restroom. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Now, follow me on this. Before the pandemic, it was so easy. You'd walk into the bathroom, you'd go over, you'd do your business, walk over to the sink, you turn it on for 3 or 4 seconds, splash around, walk out. Nobody said anything. Nobody cared. They didn't, as long as you went through the motions. I mean, that was the big thing, wasn't it? That all changed with the pandemic. Then it was like, I'm not going to pee on you again, I'll go this way. You come into the bathroom, you do your business, walk over to the sink, and people lost their freaking minds if you didn't scrub up like you were going into surgery. I mean, I used to be scared people would watch me pee in a public restroom. Now I'm scared they're going to watch me wash my hands. Yep. And for what? I mean, I touched the tip of my penis for 30 or 40 seconds. That's it. It's not like I pissed on my hands, not like I rubbed one off. I touched the tip of my penis for 30 or 40 seconds. And what's the big deal? I mean, guys touch their junk all day long. I mean, it's what we do. We wake up in the morning, what's the first thing we do? Hey buddy, time to get, oh, he's up. And then all day long, we give it this little love tap every once in a while. Just, yeah, I know you're there. We'll talk later. I don't know if you're watching, but watch the rest of the comedians up here tonight. Every single one of them. They're going to touch their junk at some point. At least the guys. I don't know about the women. I'm not going to. But we're really sly about it. You know, like we get our hand in the pocket. Just kind of walk it on over slowly. There we go. Yep, we'll talk later. All right. I know you're there. Other people, they get their whole arm and elbow into it. And every single one of us has that friend who's like tugging away. I work with that guy. You know, and so I don't get it. What's the big deal that I touch the tip of my penis for 30 or 40 seconds? Because we do it all day long. And I can tell you, of all the places in the world, COVID is not on the tip of my penis. Here's my logic, okay? My penis has been double masked almost the entire pandemic. There are very few instances where my penis was out in public without a mask on. Nobody else is touching my penis. And definitely nobody else is breathing on it. That's 2. And 3, I scared the hell out of that guy in the shower every morning for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And I mean vigorously. So like I said, I am a dad. I still remember bringing my son home from the hospital for the very first time to our little country house, just me, my wife, my son, my wife's dim-witted cat, Eddie. And I was scared to death. I mean, I'd never been around babies much. I had never babysat. I only ever changed one diaper in my life, and that was for a 47-year-old Bolivian truck driver in the parking lot of a Denny's. I don't think that's quite the same. So that first Saturday morning of parenthood, I'm scared to death. Like, I feel like I have to prove to my wife that I'm going to be the perfect partner for raising our family together. So I get up extra early. I'm washing dishes, fixing breakfast, cleaning the house, and then I hear, and I run into the bedroom, I grab my son, I tell my wife, stay in bed, dear, I got this. And I run back out to the living room, set my son down on the couch, open up the diaper, and my eyes start to water and burn because the smoke from the burning breakfast is filling the house. So I hurry up and I change that diaper, and then Eddie, the cat, jumps in front of my son on the couch. And she's looking at him like, what is this thing? And why is he screaming? Because he's screaming bloody murder right now. It's like, okay, how do we shut this thing off? Where's the no off button? I don't know. Eddie's looking at me, I'm looking at the cat. So Eddie hits my son across the head. I grab the cat, throw the cat. My son stops crying. The cat hits the wall, and my wife comes screaming out of the bedroom like a bat out of hell. What did you do? Because this is what she heard. She heard, thud. And I had to quickly assess the situation. The cat is playing dead on the floor. My son is screaming bloody murder. The house is filling with smoke, and my wife is staring me in the face, demanding to know what I did. I said the first words that came into my mind. Fuck, I don't know. Thanks, folks. That's my time.